How you doing, guys? We're back for another whiskey review. I don't know if you can call this one quite so much as a whiskey as it is maybe a liqueur. I have conflicting reports, but this is one sent to me by Ewart Strange Brewsing, so big thanks to him. This is the Weiser's Torch Toffee, 43%. Of course, he sent all these in little sample bottles, but you'll see a picture of the label on when I have the video up anyway. But he says it's Weiser's newest in their spiced whiskey brands. Um, if you are, a constant shopper in the sort of Canadian whiskey market and you're buying off the shelves all the time, you will have noticed that there's been this influx of spiced whiskeys. Again, not so sure if you can necessarily call them all really whiskey. Some of them are, lower than 40%. So technically, they can't be called whiskey or considered whiskey under the law. Not Canadian whiskey anyway. But yeah, you see a lot of the stuff. Like there's a regular Weiser Spice. I think there's a Weiser's Vanilla or something along those lines. But this is their newest one, Torch Toffee, 43%. So a little bit stronger than your usual stuff. It says apparently on again, I don't have the bottle here, but the label apparently says it's like aged in barrels that have been torched or charred or whatever to give more of a toffee-like flavor that's supposed to have naturally occurred. But then apparently the ingredients list is fructose, sugar, natural flavors and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's a little dodgy. I can't say for sure, but we'll see what we think. Do not prejudge anything. Try not to, anyway. So yeah, she's darker than usual amber, I guess. See what I get for legs here. 43%. Oh yeah, she's pretty syrupy looking. Almost liqueur-like. So yeah, we'll go right to the nose. Ooh. Very intense burnt caramel sort of smell. Toffee caramel. Smells like those what are they called? They're not Joe Louis or Joe Lewis's or whatever. They look like Joe Lewis's, but maybe they're even from the same company, but they have the caramel in them instead. And you know what I mean by the Joe Lewis's, right? The little chocolate pastry cake thingies that you can buy, and they have like cream in the middle of them, and they're soft sponge cake and shit. There's like a caramel version of those. Smells exactly like this. Although this is maybe a little bit more on the burnt side. I gotta think there's been some sort of flavoring done to this, because there's no way charring the inside of the barrels is going to get smell an aroma like this. I don't think. I really don't. There seems to be a little bit of a wood component in the back there, but other than that, it's a very one-note smell. Let's go right to the taste. Cheers. Starts out with a big char taste. Not unpleasant. I mean, if you've watched my videos, you know I'm a guy who likes peat, smoke, roastiness, things like that. So, it doesn't set off any alarms right away. Very, very nice charry kind of taste. Burnt, like seriously burnt caramel taste there. Like you, kind of reminds me as if you took a Pop-Tart and you had it too long in the toaster. Just a little too long. There is a bit of a cloying sweetness in the background there somewhere. It's not too bad though. It's very one note. This is obviously designed for cocktails. Is what it is. It needs some sort of sweet, preferably non-alcoholic base to mix with, to make drinks. Like if you, this could definitely be used in certain drinks, I think, and I think that's what the idea behind this is to mix in cocktails, because drinking it on its own, very very one note, and not necessarily something I'd want to sip on all night. I'd want a little bit more complexity and maybe just a little bit better flavor altogether. But this is just pretty much straight up burnt caramel. If that sounds appealing to you, then have at it. But, you know, as it stands, it's not a terrible drink or anything, but I can't really rate it as being all that great either. Maybe a C plus. It's pretty low, I know, but it's not all that great. It really isn't. I guess maybe if you're using it for mixing drinks, you might knock it up to a B plus, maybe, depending on what cocktail you made. But just as a standard drink, and that's what I'm trying to rate it as here, just something you want to drink straight, I'll go C plus. I've had worse, but it's not something I would buy. But still, thanks, Ewart, so much. Really interesting to try this, because, quite honestly, I probably wouldn't have bought it if I saw it on the shelf anyway to try. So I get to try it and review it, and there you go. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.